When tragedy strikes, we don't always know how to react. We feel anger, sadness, and even desperation. When we lose somebody, we know that we can't bring them back, but we can still honor their memory. And that's exactly what my good friend Garrett did with this New Edge Mach 1. His story is nothing short of remarkable, so let's go for a drive and hear Garrett's story. Mr. Garrett.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time I was in this driver's seat?
6 years ago.
I'm getting old, Garrett. This car has an amazing story, and that's why we're here today. Not only because it has a Terminator motor in it. So is it technically a Mach still? Fight in the comments. Here's the thing though, Garrett, out of all the people I've known with Terminator drivetrains, you just had some bad luck, man.
Absolutely.
You're in your fourth one now?
This is my second Terminator Cobra engine, or whatever you want to call it, and my fourth 4-valve engine in this car.
Garrett, when'd you get this car?
February of 2014.
And then a few months later you said, David, you gotta review it. And
Pretty
then
much,
this was
yeah.
the first Mach 1 I ever drove, ever.
Yes, sir.
And what's really fun about that is you were the second person at a car show to ever recognize me for doing videos.
Yes, sir.
It was one of those feelings back then that I was like, oh my God, I'm doing something right.
Yep.
You know, I'm finally making stuff happen.
And that was back in 2013.
13.
Yeah.
You had the Mach 1, was naturally aspirated 4-valve.
Yes, sir.
And you had it for a while.
Yep.
And then what happened to that first motor?
So the first motor, pretty much just young me wasn't maintaining it right.
Sure.
So pretty much just ran it low on oil and driving like an idiot, probably. So it developed rod knock and spun a bearing. So that one ended up getting a stock rebuild, and then we went on to the second stock motor, and it went from there.
A few years later, you were really good friends with a guy named Brandon.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And Brandon, I believe I met, I think we went to Senor Frogs together and at Mustang Week. And I remember we walked in there and we were like, we're out of place here.
Yep.
Because there was like some sorority party going on or something. There were a bunch of woo girls.
Yep.
And we were like, what have we done? Unfortunately, so what happened with Brandon?
So a couple years ago, back in 2017, we were actually going to meet up, me, him, and a couple other buddies, and he was in a car accident and passed away. He had a 03 convertible Whipple Terminator.
So with your Mach 1 engine, did you pull that out working, or was it already not working?
So we kind of had plans of doing the swap anyway.
Sure.
And I went to Mustang League that year, a couple months after everything happened, and ended up blowing that engine up too, just goofing off or whatever. And so at that point we were like, okay, now we gotta swap it. So it was still running. It didn't even make noise all the time, so it sounded healthy half the time, and sometimes
Sure.
it knocked. But we pulled the oil pan on it. It was pretty trashed.
Then you're like, you know what? We get honor Brandon
Yeah,
by
exactly.
using his motor.
Yep.
Was his motor pretty much good when you got it, or?
When we got it, yeah, he'd had a couple issues out of it, and he bought the car blown up and had rebuilt it, and it had probably 5,000 or 6,000 miles on it when we put it in my car, and we put just a stock blower back on it.
Yeah.
Because I was coming from 300 horsepower, I was just trying to step up gradually,
Sure.
basically. And his parents didn't really want us to have the Whipple, which is fine. I totally understand that.
PSA for everybody: stop telling Garrett to show his pinkies.
Yeah.
You want to explain that reference?
Not really.
Why not?
But there's back 6 years ago when David did my car and Jordan's Cobra review.
The review.
Yeah, the
Everyone
Cobra, the black
mentions
Cobra.
that review all the time.
Jordan's Cobra had some issues, and he made the what it's actually like fixing a car video, and I was very annoying in that video, talking about my pinkies like an idiot, and now I get recognized as a pinky guy. Something in my pinkies.
Oh yeah, look
at that. Look at that. Get swole.
Myrtle Beach probs.
My pinky is almost as big as his arms. Look at that.
I have little arms. Leave me alone.
I got a big pinky.
Well, here's the thing though. You were like either stung by a bee or bit by something.
Something, yeah.
It was bad. I mean, like
my pinkies were actually swollen. I guess.
You went full Incredible Hulk. Like I remember somebody. I can't remember the line. Somebody was like, "Well, I'm frustrated." And you're like, "Well, I got a pinky." It's just funny every time we hang out. Like people come up to me going, "Oh yeah, I watched the cover and they go, "Oh, you're the guy with the pinky." And it's funny every time we hang out. You're like, "Just don't mention the pinkies. Please don't."
I've watched that video one time all the way through, and I hate it.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: people don't realize is that Terminator review happened after it broke.
Yep.
Like that entire video of beating the snot out of that thing was after we tried to fix it for an hour.
Also, I don't know if you remember, but that day I got backed into in the same parking lot.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think it was the same day as the fuel repair, or maybe it was after my review, or it was one of those 2 days though.
It was the same parking lot.
Yep.
Because we
stopped at your house for like 5 minutes to get, I think, like some SD cards or
that's
just
right.
bathroom or something.
Yeah, and somebody it was a Taurus.
Yep.
Just backed into you.
Their excuse was it was low. I thought I could make it. It was what we thought to be a pretty healthy motor at that point, and we had our fair share of issues with it, as any build does, you know, doing the actual build. And then we kind of got it together, and it was good for a couple months.
Over time, we kept saying, hey, we gotta do a video about this amazing story. You know, you taking the Mach 1 motor, pulling it out, honoring your friend, and then in turn making your car better anyway. He was a cool guy, cool motor, let's put it in the Mach.
Yeah.
And just over time you had problems, and then one of the, I think your motor let go at one point again.
Yeah, so we had that car, after we got it together, had 2 timing kits put in it. One had broke a guide, and then the tensioner went out after that, so we ended up just doing 2 different timing kits in that motor.
Sure.
And then I was taking it to a buddy of mine, Peanut, to get some paint work done, and going down the road, not doing anything at all, didn't even try to pass anybody. It just, the head of a valve broke off.
Oh my
and
God.
It trashed the piston, the head, metal got sucked up into the bypass valve and trashed the blower.
Oh my God.
The whole engine pretty much was
toast.
Toast, yeah. I put 3,000 miles on the engine from January until July of 2018.
Oh wow.
And it went through 2 timing kits and blew up in that 6-month period. So we pretty much figured, okay, this thing, and like I said, Brandon had bought it the whole time he had it.
Sure.
And he had to rebuild it because he bought it blown up. So we figured this thing's pretty much cursed, and
yeah,
we're gonna start from the ground up.
Never, ever gets old in these things.
No.
But now it has a different one in here.
Yeah, so now it's a 20 over Texit block with stock Cobra crank, because they're pretty much indestructible. New Manly rods, same stuff as stock, but just new ones.
I love the story of the Ford engineer saying, listen, we have to put like Manly rods in here and forge everything.
Yep.
And that's what made these cars so legendary, you know, like compared to the new Edge. Like the new Edges were pretty much thrown in the trash, you know, overall. Or they make like really good first cars.
Yeah.
You know, the Mach too as well, which is funny because you can put a 99 to 01 Cobra bumper on these.
Yeah.
They look awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one of my favorite things I've done to this car, honestly.
And the Terminator wing you have.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what it is about the Terminator wing that makes a new Edge look so different.
Yeah.
But it's like this little tiny thing. It almost like fills in the butt. You know?
It just flows with the butt, and that's why I had it wingless last time. I just felt like the wingless kind of flowed better.
Well, you've been through a lot of cars, but I feel like this has been like the one.
Oh yeah, this is the one that'll never get sold. I've been through, I think, 6 or 7 other Mustangs, couple, a 240, a BMW, but this one's always stuck around.
It's weird driving the Mach 1, but hearing a Terminator.
Yeah.
Because they do sound different.
Yeah.
They're not by a lot, but they do sound different. There's this meanness and snarl that the Terminator has compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, I won't even get in it, but like, you downshift it, and you get the cracks. And I think that's why so many people love that Terminator video. It's because of the under the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, it just, there's nothing like it. decision you made was to keep the hood scoop, even though there's really no purpose for it anymore.
Yeah, I just felt like the Mach 1, it needs it to finish off the look of the Mach 1.
Yeah, it would look weird without it.
Everything else is covered on the car pretty much, but that's one thing that's got to stay.
I think that's a big complaint with the new Mach 1 is people are like, where's the shaker, bro?
I hate that too, because a shaker on an S550 would look like absolute crap.
Yeah, I don't think it would look very good.
I mean, it's just got a bunch of Brandon stuff on it still. The shift knobs, Brandon's, rear bumper and wings, Brandon's stuff.
That's right. I like the sticker on the back too.
Yeah, there's the cool sticker. I don't know if you got a shot of that.
Yeah, I gotta get a shot of that.
And then there's just, you know, it's turned into, it's not only a car, it's not only my car, but it's turned into a staple for my whole group of friends. And especially, you know, there was kind of me, Brandon, Brantley, and Chandler were kind of the four people that always hung out.
Right.
And this car is kind of, those two of my best friends in the world, Chandler and Brantley, and they've kind of, this car's helped keep us all together and kind of keep Brandon with us to an extent, you know? So.
Well, I know how much this thing means to you, so thank you so much for letting me drive it.
Absolutely,
It's
anytime.
been great. Well, how can people find you on social media, by the way, if they want to follow this car?
Instagram, at Charles Garrett Shelton.
On that note, I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.